Hello, class. As promised, I am making the video for Vocabulary 2. This shouldn't take us long. All right? So if you are looking at your words on Lesson 2, it's always nice if you follow along, or even if you wanted to make notes about some of the parts of the definition or examples that I use that might be particularly helpful for you remembering it. Remember, even though for this week or next week in class, I will only be checking the exercise 2B, I highly recommend you do the entire lesson in order to prepare for the quiz online. The quiz is already online, and again, you have 15 minutes to complete it. So the first word this week is alacrity. And alacrity means a promptness in responding or an eagerness. So if you went home right away from composition class today and dove right into your body paragraph assignment because you were overjoyed with excitement for composition class, then you did that with alacrity. It's very rare that we do things like scrub toilets with alacrity. All right. An array is the next word. An array just means that you have a large group of people or things, and that they might be placed in a certain order. So if you were to have a collection of like Pinewood Derby cars, I'm trying to think of other things you might collect. You might have a wide array of CDs. Do people buy CDs anymore? You might have an array of tunes you've downloaded, vases, anything that you have a collection of that's a large group. A second definition of it is to dress up. So you might, for the fall ball, if you go, you might array yourself in a fancy dress. To deduce means to draw a conclusion from given facts. So this is kind of what sleuths or detectives do. They look at all the facts and then they deduce a conclusion. Now, you don't necessarily have to be a detective to do this. If you come home, your family comes back from vacation and your house has been ransacked and all of your mother's beautiful jewelry is gone, then it doesn't take a genius to deduce that perhaps you have been robbed. To encumber means to weigh down, or to burden, or to impede the action. So if you think of the word, or if you know the word cumbersome, meaning this is really cumbersome, this is hard, to encumber means we've weighed you down. So if you're a sprinter and I asked you to carry a 10-pound bag of potatoes on your race, then that's going to encumber you. Or if I were to ask you what encumbers you from running a marathon, well, I can absolutely tell you it would be that I'm not in shape to run a marathon. That is an encumbrance to me. Fraught is an adjective, and you usually hear this word attached to the word with. So you are fraught with, all right? It means full of or accompanied. And you can be fraught with danger, fraught with joy, but you are full of something because you are fraught. When you are fraught with something. Haphazard might be the free word of the week. It just means that you don't have a plan and you lack direction. So if you were to say, I'd like to go to, I'm going to get on my boat in Seattle and I'm going to go to Hawaii and I'm just going to go haphazardly, that means you don't have a plan. You have no idea how you're going to get there. Incontrovertible. Often mispronounced. Incontrovertible means it is impossible to dispute or it is unquestionable. So a fact that, like, I have red hair. It is incontrovertible. You cannot dispute that I do. Inexplicable. Okay, this one also might be a free one. If something is unable to be explained, then it is inexplicable. The Bermuda Triangle is the example the book gives. It is inexplicable. We just don't really have any idea why ships tend to disappear in the same area of the Atlantic Ocean. Ingenious. Boy, you're getting some easy ones this week. If something is really marked by a lot of imagination or resourcefulness, it's really clever, then it's ingenious. And I'm sure you've heard that idea before where people will say, that's ingenious. It just means great idea. Where did you come up with that? I love this word. It's laggard. All right. And that is a noun. It is someone who falls behind everyone else because they're moving slowly or they're loitering. So a straggler is a laggard. All right. If I were to run a marathon, I might be able to be described as a laggard because for sure I would be the straggler. Sustenance. Hopefully you've heard this word, but if it's something that provides nourishment, it's food that you need to live. So sustenance is food, right? None of us can survive without sustenance. Torrid is a fun word. Is intensely hot and dry. So you can think of a desert as being torrid in the afternoon, but it also means undying, burning with passion. Okay, so you can have a torrid romance if it is passionate. All right. To traverse means to cross and pass over, across, or through. So if you traverse across the state of Montana, then you have passed all the way across the state. If you traverse the bridge, then you have gone across the bridge. You can traverse a mountain, any of it meaning to pass over. Excuse me. Ubiquitous. All right, this is just a fun word to say. Ubiquitous. All right. Appearing to be present in large numbers or in many different places. Okay, so ants are ubiquitous in my yard this year. They were everywhere. Some people say that Yellowstone, that tourists are now ubiquitous in Yellowstone. They're all over the place. All right, and then the last word is zenith, and that means a peak, the highest point of something. So if you've hiked Sacagawea Peak, if you have skied up Big Sky at the top of Lone Mountain, I think you can go all the way up. Anyways, you are at the zenith of something. So you can be literally at the zenith of a mountain, but you can also be like at the zenith of your career. So if you are like finally the CEO and you are making the bucks, you might be at the zenith of your career. Okay, those are your 15 words this week. Don't forget you're doing 2B for class, all right? But I always recommend A. I think A is good. Play with the words, make flashcards if you need to, but make sure that you're processing these because I find that the vocabulary tests are just 15 simple points to get every week, and everybody can have a bigger vocabulary. So have a great week, and thanks.